How you doing?
3, 2, 1.
All right, well, welcome back to another episode of Server Restart In. It's a weekly World of Warcraft podcast with three opinionated players who like to get together to discuss their thoughts about the current state of the game. My name is Jim. I'm joined by Kristen.
Hi.
And Brian. What? And there's been a few things that I think I want to talk about, but I think
just let it out, Jim. We're here.
Brian had some insider information
From his WoW source.
from inside his house.
Am I sharing it? I'm confused.
Yeah. What you got?
Oh, the release date leaked on an image or something on a website for Wrath Classic,
And the date was
September 26th. Of course,
So-
it's not going to matter when this comes out. People are going to know that. But
No, I know.
2 months away. That's not too bad.
But yeah, that was it. The official site got updated with the release launch date for the expansion, and then when the Wowhead thing, since the Wowhead thing had been published, they had removed it and edited it back to its previous version, which means that it probably got accidentally pushed out, like they weren't ready to release that information.
It was an old one, probably. They're going to release on the last day of the year.
No, it's not Dragonflight.
No, don't say that. God damn.
No, but yeah. So, and it's funny because the other day, I don't even know what I was looking at, but somebody was talking about Death Knight stuff, and just like the thought of like old school Death Knight. Just
Oh my
kind of
God.
got me really excited.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what server are we going to play on when it comes out? We got to make sure we coordinate that. And then Brian said something that was funny. And I don't know if it was a dig at himself or a dig at me.
No, it was me. I was digging I got so excited about BC, and then I never played.
And then we never played. I know.
I played a little bit.
I did
tried,
not.
but I'm like, you know what? It's nostalgia. I can't help it.
Yeah.
I just can't go back.
Yeah. Say what you want about retail WoW, and I do say what I want about retail WoW.
Yeah.
I make no bones about how I feel about it. I really like the quality of life upgrades that they've done to it. I really like that stuff. WoW was at the time in my life when Classic was around. I had that time to do nothing but play a video game and
To
grind.
dedicate to the game.
Yeah. And I just don't have that now. So
Well,
I appreciate the upgrades because I don't want to wait in a town to find enough people to do an instance, and then we all get there, and then somebody's like, "Oh no, I have to have dinner with my family," and you have to go back to town to find a fifth person because somebody flaked because it took so long. That feels bad. It feels like there almost has to be some middle ground between the two, because now it's just what we have now is just kind of like ridiculous because people they're almost like NPCs. I almost wish
I wish they were NPCs and they'd shut their mouth.
Yeah, I almost wish that they did what Final Fantasy did with the trust system, and then just let you go into dungeons with NPCs. Because
That'd be cool.
Yeah, because I feel like that would be I wouldn't have to play with people.
That would be you don't have it's not
Which sounds terrible. I like playing with my friends. I love playing with everybody in the guild. I don't want to branch out and make new friends. I'm not in that time in my life where I want to make new friends. I'm happy with the old friends I have. I don't need new friends.
Well, and I think to that too is that it's an option. It would be an option
Right.
thing, right? You know,
Yeah.
and it's probably something that they will because it looks like they've started to reach out to other games and find systems
Good.
that they can implement. Obviously, the Dragonflight stuff, you know, they need to go back to what they did, cannibalize other
Yes.
shit.
No. Yes. Speaking about that, it's interesting because I was watching, people are talking about the Guild Wars 2 thing, about how they, took the mount stuff. But nobody should be surprised. WoW has always done that. They have always taken the things that have worked really well in other games and made them better. I say better because Guild Wars 2 mount system is phenomenal. It's really good, and I don't know that you could iterate on it to make it better. It'll just be different. It'll be a different spin on it.
It will be what fits in
WoW.
In WoW,
Right?
And I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
you know?
I'm not talking about that.
No, I know.
What I find is interesting is I feel like for the longest time, WoW was on top to such a degree that no other games could compete and no other games could push out stuff that WoW could take.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I get it.
Yeah. So I feel like, we went through a long drought of them
Pulgeable content.
Yeah, them not taking anything that I have really noticed from other games because there haven't really been other games that would compete. But now there are a lot more games coming out there. Now, sure, they're not all in the same genre. But there are a lot of games that they can, and God forbid, please don't poach from Diablo Immortal. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's their own IP, but you know what I mean? Please don't.
For the low
don't,
price
for
of,
the love of
$5,000, you can have a full Mythic tier set.
Yeah, please
But-
don't
Ooh,
do
not
that. Yeah.
No,
Brian's
but
like, well, that's $5,000 well spent.
I think part of it too is you got to look at, you probably had a change in the development team overall who wanted to make a name for themselves, right? They didn't necessarily, it's like you get people that come into a company or whatever and they want to leave their mark on it, right? They want to do something new, something different. It's like, well, why don't we try to
They're the people that ruin everything everywhere.
Yeah,
They should all
stop
be fired.
innovating, you sons of bitches. We don't need
Not
innovation.
innovation,
We
it's-
need stagnation.
It's glory. People just go to get their
I know.
glory and then move on.
And then
they
move
ruin
on.
everything.
Yes.
Well-
they have no lasting, they don't care about the lasting impacts on the game. They just want to get their name, in
that could be
and-
part of it, but I mean, it's probably a different generation of developers. Like, they're just not like the same. They don't have the same.
I have to
core.
say, it's probably a good thing because every generation, almost all the whole generation that was my generation of developers in Blizzard are gone now because they were terrible people. So
Nothing more like Chris Metzen and all
No,
that stuff.
well,
like you
no.
go back to like the original stuff. Yeah, you
Yeah.
probably had some people that you probably had people that it started off fine and then they got like the whole Rockstar thing and
Yeah.
power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Yeah,
all
that
that
happened to
stuff.
Jim several times.
Yeah, I mean, that's,
all the time.
yeah, I mean that's why I have to keep making new DKs because they keep getting deleted.
Corrupted. Oh my
Because
God.
I just become too powerful to exist in this world.
You
Oh
are
my.
too powerful to exist.
But you know what I mean? But it's like, and then like the ideals change. I mean, if you think about like early stuff, what were they coming off of, right? They were coming off of old school
Yeah, like
RPG
EverQuest.
games. Well, like EverQuest, I think is maybe right before, but like Ultima Online, or
Yeah.
even just like the old Baldur's Gate, like old D&D games and stuff like that.
Right.
You had a bunch of stuff that influenced them differently, and then you get like the next wave of people coming up that eventually.
Oh gosh, Jim, that's scaring me.
Well, I mean, it's just how it fucking works, and like their experience with gaming
Angry Birds and
Oh
yeah.
God.
growing up is different.
Mario Kart 8
So-
for 6 years.
Yeah. So their gaming ideals are different, right?
Yeah.
So like that influences how they do it. and maybe they didn't want to perpetuate the formula. They wanted it, you know, they're like, this is gonna get stale, or like, you know, it's like we want to do something different to try and keep people interested. You know what I mean? You know, it's like, and now they're
Well, either way, back to her point, like they've already fucked up with not adding the Dungeon Finder and totally ruining casual play for people that, like us, have nostalgia for it and would like to go back and touch on it. The fact is, I probably won't be that invested into it because that feature's not there.
oh, I'm not going to be invested into it. Now, Dungeon Fighter didn't come out till the very end.
I mean,
right?
invested in any sense, like I would probably level something up because I just love the environment and I remember it like fondly.
Yes.
I remember watching TV at the same time I was leveling through Sholazar Basin. I remember I was watching Comedy Central. It was this huge thing in my brain. It's amazing, and I want to go back and I just want to feel that again. But at the same time, like I would like to itemize gear on the very first part of the expansion, the expansion, because it's so much different from the latter parts. And I was really stoked about having the Dungeon Finder in there in the beginning, like, and that, I don't know, I think it sucks it's not there. So
yeah, no, I do agree that maybe not putting it in was a bad choice, and maybe eventually what'll happen is they're just gonna sit there and they're like, no, we think we're gonna do it, and they'll probably, you know, it'll.
Oh, they
out.
made it a switch. You know, they flipped a switch. They're gonna flip a switch for it because they're gonna wait to the point at which people get so engaged with it and they start trending down like everything else. Then flip all the switches on.
They
the
did
same
say,
way with BC. Like they got big for BC, squished everything back down when it kind of leveled out or normalized, and
they are.
But it just sucks. Is like make your futuristic hardcore servers, and then make the original like parody servers, right? Like, come on, just it's not gonna. You can't control every damn thing.
I don't know.
You have a right to police your own communities, but to a certain extent, like you can't control everything. Like the game, let the game be the way it was to some extent.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, even if that's the case,
Gator.
the Dungeon Fire didn't come out until like the last patch, right?
I know, but that's the good thing about it is that even like with like Classic, they came out with the state of like the last big patch
Yeah.
for the entire thing, which is really cool because there's a lot of, like you're talking about, there's a lot of stuff that you build in over time that would just be good to have the whole time.
Right.
And I think that's really cool. Like,
To that point, they are putting Inscription in at the very beginning, because apparently I think that came out later. Like the Inscription stuff.
It did?
They said it's going to be...
no, it was in.
I
It
don't
was in when
remember.
it first came out.
I mean, I thought it was, but I.
Oh, it's starting with the pre-expansion. Never mind.
Oh, okay.
Maybe that's what it is.
Oh, gotcha.
So it's okay. That was my mistake.
I don't mean to be salty. It's just
No,
like,
it's-
thinking about
it's
it.
fine.
I really want to play, and that
You're
sucks
just,
because
you guys are just getting all the salt out from a couple episodes ago.
Let me
It's
tell
just
you-
been-
Well, it sucks because I really want to go and play it casually, and I won't be able to. Like,
I
I just be able to level up here and there, and that's it.
I still don't have alpha access, Blizzard. I don't know if you've noticed that oversight, but I still don't have it. I
What are your streamer numbers at?
I
Though?
see that
and
Preach.
they're not artesian.
I see that Preach got it finally, so that was good.
Artesian 0, isn't it?
And
Now
Zeppla got it and was playing, and that was wonderful. I enjoyed watching her play.
Okay, yes, but the question is, did you come out with a video talking about how it's fine that you didn't get it?
You're
Is
still-
what it
That's
is.
true. I did not.
You're
do
gonna
that.
move on.
You weren't expecting to get it,
I
but you
wasn't,
were kind of
but I
mad
was
when you
kinda mad
didn't.
that I didn't. Yeah.
You know, it's like get the
Yeah.
Look,
get the fuck.
we all
out
know
of
you
here.
quit at one point, and we all know you said F Blizzard.
Oh, I
right? But
always
you
say F
totally
Blizzard.
expect to still get it, and
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I feel like the more people who Blizzard will listen to, I guess, who have access to it, the better. But
I don't
I
know if they're gonna
also-
listen to him.
yeah, I don't know how well they listen, period. And it's when they're giving people who haven't played the game access, who haven't played for years, access to something, it's a marketing thing, and that's kind of,
Right, they're trying to build up hype for it. You
Yeah.
know, get some of these people that used to be big on it back into it and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just like, they're not the kind of, they're not the fucking people that should be having their fucking opinions in it, because I don't think that, yeah, sure, they have all these great ideas and they got all these people that think the same or whatever. They're like, yeah, that's a good idea. But like, it's all based on just what they think is right. And just because it's a vocal thing, that doesn't make it a majority thing. And it's just like, it's like all the people that bitch and moan about shit are just, it's so fucking annoying. It's like, I don't.
Gosh, Jim, why don't you tell me how you really feel?
I know.
You want to know how I really feel?
Jeez.
Okay, the main
bitch
thing,
and moan
No,
so
don't.
much.
the main thing I wanted to fucking talk about today is this shit.
Basically, Brian, he's just telling us to shut the F up.
No,
He's
no,
like, I
I'm
didn't
pretty
want
sure
to
he's
talk
getting ready to
about.
talk about Final Fantasy.
No, we can touch on that at the end, but it doesn't have anything to do with anything major. But like, what's really been setting me off lately is all of, like, this stupid garbage lashing out or like pushback or just anger at like the fact that the new race is Dracthyr.
Oh yeah, it's kind of
It's
silly.
like you hear people talk
Furry
about
agenda.
pushing this furry agenda and all this other fucking shit.
What?
Yes.
I know.
Really?
Like, oh my fucking god.
Yeah, we
This
did.
is the dumbest fucking shit I've ever fucking heard. Because they're all
Alright.
talk. Because like
I
I don't know who the hell it was, and I don't even care because I'm not
Yeah.
gonna promote it
No,
or whatever.
It's funny though.
Bitching about this stuff, talking about, oh, they're just trying to put in all these sexy dragons for.
I
know,
mean,
all
I'm
these people
sorry.
and stuff.
Those dragons do not look sexy. I don't look at those dragons and think,
Speak for yourself.
But I mean, but it's just like I sit there and it's just like you got these people complaining that they're putting in a humanoid, anthropomorphic animal type race, right? In a fantasy universe that has orcs and trolls and elves and Tauren and stuff. You know what I mean? And it's just like there's all these furry races and like pandas and Worgen, and which Worgen are only half furry because they're only furry part of the time.
Hey.
Like nobody counted Tauren, even though Tauren's one of the main ones.
yeah, that's
Uh,
so funny.
Like they just skipped over that.
Thorin don't count
But
because they're
what
not
are the other
sexy.
ones?
I guess.
Draenei, I guess, kind of are. Volpira. You know what I mean? But it's just like
Ugh.
it's a fucking fantasy world. One,
Yeah.
you already have humans, you have Coltirans, and you have Worgen, which have a human shape, right? Elves are humanoid with just tall humans with long ears, and sometimes pointy teeth, I guess. And you know what I mean? But it's just like if they put in just like another random human race, it's like, do you know how pissed people would be? You know what I mean? It's like if they were
Would
just.
they? I mean, they did already.
I mean, they did. Yeah, they put in Coltiran. Like,
But they made that like an allied race. It wasn't like that was like when they were doing these
Oh, I see
allied
what you're
races, which it's like a sub race, because you had the Maghar orcs, right? They're orcs, but they're different.
Right.
You had the Zandalari trolls, they're trolls, but they're different. You had the different elves, right? They're blood elves, but they're different. They were void or night elves, not night elves.
Wood elves.
No, void elves are the. other
There's
ones.
void,
elves?
and then there's certain types. They return something.
There's the Suramar ones.
Oh. Nightborn.
Nightborn, right? So you know what I mean? Which technically they're night elves that
Yes.
were trapped in the Sundering. You
Or
know
on
what I mean?
meth.
What?
On meth.
Night elves on meth.
Yes.
But
But
Nightborn ones.
yes. But you also didn't you have those in you had those in the Blood Elves too, I think. Because you had the,
Yeah,
red
I
shit
mean, they were like,
when
they were different. Yeah, they were. That was
But it
was
was
like
the same-
heroin probably or something more so.
Yeah, right. Same overall concept, different source, right? Smack versus blow, I guess. You know what I mean?
There you go.
Wow.
This is weird.
But it's just like, what do you fucking want them to put in a goddamn fantasy world? What
Well,
else?
I won't lie. Like, I got really angry when I saw something on Reddit about somebody being like, I wasn't mad about the shape of the Dracthyr or whatever up until the point that they saw the NPCs in the areas, and the NPC actually looked like it was a player character looking model.
Right,
It was
almost like the dragon guard.
It was like slightly buff,
like the
but they looked
wormkins?
like the
Like the wormkins.
and I'm like, holy shit, yeah, that's right. Like that's what I would. That's what I want to be. Like,
the thing with that though, I guess I'm trying to think of like, well, I'm thinking of armor, but you don't really in the regular dragon. I don't know if when you're in dragon form.
Oh, that's the other thing too.
You
right
wear
now
armor.
you design your armor for your Drake form in the character custom creation thing. That's where, and so like your transmogs do not affect it.
oh,
They
So-
just affect in your human form.
Right, because in your visage form.
Yes.
Because
okay. Well,
I mean, I don't know if they didn't want to redo every single fucking piece
I'm
of
sure they probably
male armor.
didn't.
Is it male? Do they wear male?
I think male. Yes.
They don't probably want to redo every male
it's
to
kind
fit.
of weird though. Like, I don't know.
I mean, it's
I
probably
guess it makes sense. It follows the aspects and how they do their stuff too, right?
I guess. I don't know.
Because they all like have clothes, and then like the clothes aren't just bigger on the dragon; they can turn into a
Yeah.
dragon. So I guess it makes sense.
But anyway,
I mean, it would be kind of cool if you had some big like tier 2 shoulders hanging out on your dragon, running around.
yeah, you,
Although I guess
give
this
them
Dracthyr's not a dragon, but whatever, it doesn't matter.
no, I know. But I mean, it's just I don't know.
I think the shitty part is that they don't do enough of their own due diligence in creating diverse enough races whenever they do stuff like this.
I mean, I guess
Sorry, but like
they made a pretty big one. Like, I guess it's not quite the same as like the Wormkin, but like they made the body like you can have a big beefy body type.
you can have a beefier body type, but you also have the ability to customize it between the 5 aspects,
Right.
right? Like apparently there's stories of people just spending hours in the character.
There's a lot
I
of
did
see the
customization.
There's a lot of customization.
There's a
to it.
lot of
So-
customization.
You know, it's like
But even
is
in general,
great.
even if it's just a little bit, like yes, I'd like to be a different type of dragonkin person, right? Even if it comes from like D&D in whatever edition that was introduced in,
oh, the
it
Dragonborn.
it's still like drastically the fantasy aesthetic, whatever, like is still drastically different than what they're showing, even though like I understand what they're going for from a lore perspective. But again, like I think there's still opportunity there that they could have taken. But that goes along with the other races as well. And this we've already talked about this, but having, chubby characters is something I would
Yeah.
like to have more so and stuff like that. It's just shit that they could do more to create more diversity through their own races. If they're so willing to get into customization that deeply, they should care more about it overall, or else they're never going to go back and do it.
I think that
And
this
that's
is
evident by them never going back and doing undead heritage armor.
oh fuck.
I don't care if it's going to look like just old rags and stuff. That makes total sense if
They
you get
should just-
drug out of a grave.
Just make you look like a mummy
Exactly.
just mummy
do
wraps.
it though. Just do it though.
With a top hat.
Come on. That would be awesome. And a cane? Oof.
The Bling King, a top hat, and just mummy wraps.
Oh my god.
That would be awesome.
No, I
You
think
could moonwalk.
yes.
Like your racial could be moonwalking.
I think that those are the tendons creaking because they're just
Oh,
dried
yeah.
nectar feed.
Yeah.
No, I think that they're expanding their character customization stuff now, like because they have done more, right?
Yes.
They did the allied races, and then they went back and
of course
added
they've done more, but they could do more.
the problem.
Yes.
I know.
I could have had more flowers in my beard as a Tauren than the one stupid flower on my head.
that
She's
does
just getting ridiculous. I have a valid excuse. Okay? I want to be a fatty like myself. I am a fatty, and I would like to be a fatty.
the
Yay.
fact is that all the customization changes that they have done have been not related to body type, right? Meaning everything they've added up until like the Dracthyr, right? You haven't been able to change the proportions of the character, which these are all character skeletons that already have existing versions of the armor in the game, right? That can fit on that skeleton or that model, right? With minimal impact. You know, there's still some clipping on like torn.
Sure. And like, again, I'm not trying to question any of like the ability to get it done, right? I'm sure there's a reason why they haven't done it. But I think that there's probably something there, their process, their tools, the people, them making a stupid ass mobile game that they could have put people on making different shapes of armor, the way they attach armor to models. I don't know. I'm sure there's a process there they can improve so they can output more things that keep people latched in other than just making new fucking expansions. God, just love the game, for God's sakes. Like, I just love the game.
I think that this is a small step in that direction. I think that this is something that...
Yeah, but they've taken 14 small steps in the past 5, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years. I don't know. Big fucking deal. Like, there's an inherent
a lot
problem.
of them have been recently, which means that the number of small
that's not
steps...
true.
Yes, it is.
What do you mean? How recently are you describing?
Well, just over this past expansion. They've been doing a lot more.
But you got to go back and look at the additional customizations they've added over the years, bit by bit. Even Lich King added tons of stuff. Like it wasn't anything new, right? But it was still customizing or making your character more than what it can be, beyond the gear and all the other garbage that goes along with the game. So I don't know. We don't have to keep arguing about it. It's just frustrating. Like,
yeah,
I like dragons and I like the idea of it and everything, and I do want to play an evoker, and I probably will, but I can't get attached to it because it's just not. To me, it looks like one thing, and that's it. That's not because I have any severe biases in terms of a dragon human thing in fantasy. It's just that, like, to me, if I would like a dragon thing in the way we've experienced it in Warcraft so far, they've always been these like huge shoulder bearing like warriors coming at you, swinging shit around, and it's like that's the fantasy that we've been exposed to the whole time. Like, if we got to the point of dragon stuff, like that's what I want to be.
Any of the Sanctum raids, you got
about, like,
the two-legged bipedal ones that have the giant glaives and stuff.
The
like
Wormkins.
Yes, but that's the thing.
But that's not what we are.
Right. This is a lore. The whole thing with this is that this is a creation of Neltharion. You know what I mean? It's like he was playing fast and loose.
Yeah. Again, I'm not questioning like the lore, what they're doing, anything like that. I'm just saying like there was an opportunity and it's going to be missed. That sucks. That's
right. All. You just want them to look a little bit different.
I just want options. That's all.
Yeah.
The way I look at it, yes, there has deep customization with jewelry and all the other garbage, and I don't care about that.
Yeah, I don't really like the jewelry.
I think you can change your horns and stuff like that too, can't you? Like, I think you can mess with
it's like Tauren, though. I don't care about changing horns on Tauren either.
There's one that you pick that
but
you
I do enjoy like the idea of a huge buff freaking Tauren, cow swinging swords around. Like, that is a badass concept to me, and I think that kind of goes hand in hand with like what. And yes, they're Wormkins, whatever. I don't give a fuck. They look like dragons to me, and they look like fucking warriors, and that's badass. But whatever, I don't know. I could complain about it all night. I don't think it's value added.
I thought maybe, I was going to be the salty one, just bitching about the furry shit.
You are never the salty one.
Well, no. See, I'm not mad about the game. I'm mad about people's reaction to them adding a anthropomorphized reptilian.
I mean, good for Blizzard, though. Like, because that's any exposure is good exposure.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, it's just like, I don't know any other games that have a playable dragon class or character species. You know what I mean? And it's just like, just this whole fucking stupid thing. Oh, they're pushing some fucking furry agenda. It's like, get the fuck out of here. It's like,
I mean, EverQuest had Iskar. Is it Iskar? I don't remember what they were called. Their second expansion or the first expansion, I think.
were they like the snake people or something, or like
They
reptilian?
they were quite literally like lizard people.
Yeah.
They were tall. They were taller than like humans, but they looked awesome. They're really cool looking.
Yeah.
Even back then, that was like 2000.
Right. But I still just can't get over the whole fact that people are pissed that they're doing this, and it's just like, I don't know what they want them to fucking do. You can't, I mean, like, if they put in
it's hard to really sit and dwell on it, because you have to think that, like you said earlier, there's already way too many animal type species in WoW, so that right there
fantasy
already
fucking world.
Well, still, like the argument in general doesn't even matter, because there's the fox people, Volpera, like, and that's the stupidest race in the world.
But I mean, but it's just like, if you put in another fucking human, they're gonna just go, oh, they're just being fucking lazy because now they don't have to fucking do anything. Just throw in some different,
that makes
cosmetics or whatever. But it's just like, what other race could you put in that isn't a furry
Balloons.
race? Halflings, gnomes, maybe. I mean, but you
Balloon.
already
We already have
are
gnomes.
balloon people.
Sorry, what'd you say?
Balloon people or bubble people, like in SpongeBob. There's Bubble Boy and Bubble something.
I didn't watch a lot of that, unfortunately.
I don't know if
Yes, but that could be a race, right? And you could just, it's hardcore mode. So as soon as you get hit with something, you pop and you start over.
I'd say you could do like a Warforged thing, but
you get hit with something, you pop.
You jump off a cliff and you're done.
you float away.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
you float away.
You can't swim.
Oh
You can't swim because you're so buoyant. But
Oh man,
it's like you couldn't do a Warforged race because you already got Mechanomes, so you pretty much already have that. Now, granted, they're short little fucking ankle high fucking robots, but but I mean, it's just like there's not really much else out there to fucking do, and it's just like, so people just need to get the fuck over it. And quit bitching about shit that's a non-fucking issue. There's no fucking furry agenda.
Oh
It's
my
like,
god,
it's
that's
not-
so funny.
It's
to
like
me.
they make it
it's
sound
funny
like
because I follow the WoW Reddits, like, and I never saw that. And usually that's where it pops up first. I thought.
I don't know.
It's a very specific. I think that it's a very specific channel.
Whatever it was, is I heard it and it was enough to fucking just piss me off.
Yeah, definitely.
Was it
set you off.
r/ubu?
No, it was not. It was not.
No, it was r/if.
No. It
They were
was
like,
not-
finally representation
It
for the
was-
lizardkin.
Yeah,
I don't know.
The scalies. It's a Twitch thing, and it's stupid.
Oh God, I fucking hate the world.
They call them scalies and furries, and it's like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, seriously, who is looking at these and getting like sexual vibes from them? Not me.
I don't know. It's stupid in general. Just the whole concept of this being some sort of fucking agenda, from whatever. It's like, I guarantee you that the people working on this are not influenced by, or necessarily a majority of them part of any
There's
fucking
one
community.
person just sitting there sweating with lust.
I need
the whole
furries.
time.
I need furries. Gotta have them.
They have to put a garbage bag over their chair so they don't
Damn.
so they don't soak through.
Ugh.
Man, Oof. That's rough.
All right.
How about them new talent trees?
No.
Ugh.
So they changed the 500 mount achievement.
Oh, what did they change it to?
It's an otter.
Oh, that's actually
With-
Oh yeah,
with
yeah.
bone
We've
armor?
already talked about that.
They
No,
ought to
no,
change
no,
it again.
the new one. What? They're not changing it again. That's the new one from 2 days ago.
Oh, we
They
talked
ought to
ab-
change it again.
Oh,
We talked
fuck.
about the otter mount though, because I found it not.
Anyway, I think people bitching about it is pretty fucking dumb.
You want to complain about that too? All you do is look up stuff that people complain about, Jim.
Well, no, because no, it's like we're talking about. Oh, they're just cheaping out because it's a fucking Yeti and all this other stuff, and it's like I went and I looked up every fucking mount for your mount achievement collection stuff. They've all been fucking just recolors. There's 4 fucking Bloodhawks. The fucking Blood Elf mounts. God, where the hell did this thing go? Did I close this damn thing?
I guess people just assume when you get to
like,
500 that it should be a milestone. It's 500 mounts. That's
and
a pretty
it's
big thing. I think there's 900 though in the game.
It's 100 more than the last one. So the first one's
900 in the game.
That's what
900 mounts, but you got to include
but...
that includes trading card game. That includes store mounts. You know what I mean?
Well, PvP by itself has like what 1,000.
Yeah.
But I mean, but it's just like the first one was the albino drake, right? You get 50 mounts, you get the albino drake. Then you had a blue dragon hawk. Oh no, those are the same achievement. So a blue or a red dragon hawk based on faction. Then it was the fucking kite, the Pandaren kite.
Yeah, I like the kite.
Then there was some more dragon hawks. The armored ones. Then it was a Fellfire Hawk, one of the Cloud Serpents, the Frostshard Infernal, which is like the Legion Infernal
I just
stuff,
got that one.
which is a cool thing, but it's also a fucking recolor of like 4 different other fucking mounts. And then the Frenzied Fell Talon, which is basically like Anzu or whatever, the Druid mount that you could get from...
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the chicken mount.
Dread Talon.
Yeah.
One. Yeah.
And then there's the Emerald Drake one from the Awake the Drakes achievement. But I mean, like you look back at the mount collection stuff, they're all fucking recolors. So who gives a fuck? You can't be like, oh, they're just being fucking lazy. That's all they've ever done. It's not a unique goddamn mount.
They've always been lazy.
Damn it.
I mean, it takes time to recolor a mount, I guess. I don't know. But
they use crayons, so yeah.
I guess.
They drink the paint, and then it goes into the computer. The secret is lead-based.
Oh.
But I mean, but the whole thing is, if you look at it, it's like they've all been recolors of existing things. So if they put a fucking Yeti in there, it's not them being lazy. It's just them being like, okay, well, what haven't we done?
They're just being consistently lazy. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, it's
just
like this time.
If you're gonna be lazy, be consistent about it.
This time is no fucking different. You know what I mean? And it's just like, people just get their fucking panties in a fucking twist about shit.
Whoa, Jim. Gosh, not everybody wears panties.
Pantaloons, in a twist.
No, underwear. Not everybody wears underwear. Sorry.
Oh, right. I don't know.
I got weird quick.
Like it hasn't already. But
Jesus.
I don't know. It's just.
Yeah, it's annoying. It's like, yeah.
I just.
Dang, Jim, you got any good news this week? Everybody's just pissing you
off.
off.
I didn't look up good news.
Oh.
Stop pissing Jim off. That's the title.
I mean,
of the
it's
episode.
just like it's all just like fucking normal shit. Like it's all stuff based on the alpha.
Did you guys play with the shaman talents or anything like that?
No.
It was Evoker came out a week or 2 ago. Then Shaman came out.
I don't even have a max level shaman. I don't think. I don't have a max level.
It's just very interesting. Like I don't have a shaman. I do have a shaman, but I don't have like that high. But what was I looking at? Enhancement. Yes, they have some ice stuff in there, like more ice stuff than they've had before. Like they have frost shock and all that stuff, like throughout their lifespan, right?
They've mostly been like fire and earth and lightning.
They had ice stuff.
There was some like.
Go ahead and name some of the ice things because I'm pretty sure.
Ice strike.
Okay.
Where was the other stuff? Now I got to dig it back up.
I think it should be down towards the bottom because it was in the bottom talent trees.
There's a Legacy of Frost Witch.
That was a legendary.
Oh, okay. So you're saying this stuff that's in there before just kind of consolidated now? I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. There's
It's
like
just cool. I was going through it and I'm like, oh wow, I didn't
thing
really.
or something like that, or
Yeah,
there's a
yeah,
bunch
I
of
like that.
yeah,
I was kind of surprised.
yeah.
But even
It's-
the evoker as well, like some of the stuff like you go through for devastation, actually looks. The wording makes it seem kind of fun. Like, what was it? There's this hover. So is that like the chicken flapping for Dracthyr?
I don't think their chickens flap like my chicken flaps.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know they have like they have a faster flying.
Yeah.
Like a soar.
Their wings are super cool too because
evokers?
Yeah, the evokers.
Oh, their wings
why
the
are
fuck
super,
I thought I was
like
thinking
because
you
they
were still talking shaman.
move and it's very cool. Yeah, no, he did. That was a weird transition.
You transitioned and I thought you were still talking shaman. I'm like, they fucking float
Oh, I'm
now?
sorry.
No, I
These
think
are the only two I haven't seen yet, so I got kind of like, oh, hey, look at here.
so. I threw a link in the Discord for the raid weapon models from the first raid. I don't know if you've seen these. These are fucking amazing. It's the Vault of the Incarnates, and
From
it's
the first raid in
Dragonflight.
Ugh, they're just recolors.
Go get the fuck out of here, you shithead! You goddamn shithead! They are They are
Why
not.
are
Whoa,
they-
that bow, dude! Holy shit!
that
is crazy.
LFR, normal, heroic. Why is there an extra?
It's LFR heroic.
LFR, normal, heroic, mythic, and then there's an extra.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what if
Maybe.
one is
Right?
I don't know if but like they could come from different bosses too because I don't know if these are based off of difficulties or if they're based off of because we're going to be fighting different like primal things in there. It could be related to like maybe two of them are from the same one or something. I don't know.
I don't know. I am never going to replace my Healy staff from the challenge modes on my druid.
Did I see a staff in here?
Never going to. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
right there. Does
There's
not look good.
two staffs.
Does not look great. I will never.
One's got a mohawk
Yeah.
or
I
like
will-
a dull bleed.
I will always use that owl staff because it just looks so cool.
I know. I'm not trying to convince you or whatever. But
That's a pretty cool looking sword, though. It looks like Zalatath.
it does a
little
little bit, yeah.
About the
Oh, God, it's just
like
fucking
the,
recolor.
It is. It looks like that. Are those all supposed to be flames?
No, well, ice flame. Like I mean, if there's five dragonflights, right?
Yeah.
So it could be related to that.
I'm just
Oh,
like, if those are
dude.
flame, that would be really cool.
Have you seen the alchemy equipment?
Oh,
It's like,
so okay,
on
so
the
that's
round
another
head, it's
thing too,
15
right?
down.
Is one of the things I think that's come out is that when you are doing a certain thing, like you're mining or you're fishing or whatever, you take on like your appearance changes to be your mining or your fishing gear, which currently is not transmoggable, but they're looking to potentially add that later on. But like, I don't know if you're going to be I don't know how that's going to work because I'm wondering if
They just have you like shift into it and then give you a bonus or something for being in it.
Well, I think what it is that you have a secondary equipment set for your crafts that you can pop gear into,
Oh.
and then it applies that to your appearance while you're doing that stuff. So if you're doing blacksmith stuff, it switches you over to like your blacksmith gear or whatever. Maybe.
Oh, that's cool.
Can I just say, you're welcome, Blizzard, for giving them that idea that they're finally incorporating.
You have brought that up multiple times about
I have
having
brought that
gear
up multiple times.
for fishing
Yep.
because that's
That was-
really all you cared
That
about.
was all I really cared about, was having gear for fishing, but it obviously translates into the other professions. And yes, tier sets for gear. Same thing with like how they had the fishing pole in Legion, where you filled in all the traits after you did a certain amount of fishing and stuff like that.
So I don't think it's going to quite work
Yeah,
like
no,
that.
I'm not. I don't mean it like that. But what I mean is they gave you other things, so that you essentially got set bonuses for doing that stuff.
Right, and this will give you like the crafting or the gathering stat bonuses or whatever.
Yeah,
But
I don't think it's gonna be like the fishing pole, but like I was just.
But it
mainly
is a
getting
step
to
in the right direction, right? I mean,
Yeah.
like everything they're redoing with the crafting and all that stuff, with the profession changes, is, it's a gamble, right? Like they're like, okay, we're gonna do this. This is kind of, like because Final Fantasy 14 has the ability to have gear that's related to what you're doing.
Sure, but
Right.
Final Fantasy 14 also has a really robust crafting.
I understand, but what I'm saying is like they're taking a little bit of that. They're taking a little bit of like the work order system and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like they are bringing parts of that over, and not a big overhaul sweep, because unlike dragon riding, dragon riding doesn't replace really an existing system.
Right.
Right? I mean, you can kind of maybe say it replaces flying, but it really doesn't.
And
It's
really,
not
you're only
equivalent.
going to be able to do it on the Dragon Isles.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
not like it's going to be,
Right.
in the world and you're going to be riding your dragon like that all over. It's, dragon riding is only going to be like that in the Dragon Isles.
But with professions, that is a big overhaul to a core system in the game. So, obviously it's not as bold, I guess, maybe, as they could go. It's, they're going to get kind of a base and hopefully, see that it work. Hopefully it'll work well and they can make more additions to it, more, update it more.
I don't understand how they couldn't think, like, look at how much everybody loved Tier Gear and how upset everybody was when they took away Tier Gear, right? And then they added it back in and people were happy again. How could that not translate to crafting and mining and fishing and, you know what I mean? Like, everybody wants to have gear that they can work towards and,
Right. No, I get it, and it is a nice thing to have, and I do think that it's a good change, and I think the crafting thing is going to change, and I hope that it makes it more, usable, more than just, all right, well, we're just going to craft a bunch of legendaries, and whoever can get up there first is going to make a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
I hope that this new system either, rewards the people that put the time into doing it. You know what I mean?
I will be interested to see if this only affects Dragonflight crafting or if it affects all the crafting. Like, if you can wear the gear, if only Dragonflight is going to have, like, the inspiration and the stuff like that, or if all of crafting is going to have it and you're going to, you know what I mean? So you'll be able to wear that gear in old content.
Well, inspiration is for crafting.
Right.
It's a crafting talent.
Yeah. Okay.
So but I think if they're redoing I don't think it's going to be just that. I think it's going to apply to some of the older stuff, like the whole system's being overhauled. I don't think it's just, well, this is just a new system for that. I think it's everything.
Because they had for like, just speaking specifically for alchemy, in Legion, they had the wonderful thing where you could proc multiple things, and then they just, stopped doing that.
Right.
Which, whatever, however you feel about that, it's just one of those things where that was a expansion specific thing that they did and had no plans to carry it forward after that.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I think that it's just something we'll have to see, when we maybe get to the beta about a week before it launches.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think I'm done bitching about things.
What?
So
You can't take mine and Brian's job.
Sorry.
It's fine.
I couldn't help it. I got riled up about shit.
You
Stupid
did.
shit.
You got riled.
I hate
That's
Uwu
okay.
dragons.
Ooh, dragons.
Ooh, dragons. I mean, I am not going to lie. I like the dragon models. So for me, it feels okay, but I also want people to have options as well, because for me, you should have options. The more options, the better. Why make people unhappy when you can just make them happy by giving them more options?
You can't give them everything.
It's not everything then, Jim.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, if you pick one thing, right, and then you go super deep with it, you could have not gone super deep with it and had
Yeah.
2, 3 things. They decided to go one way for whatever purpose, and unfortunately, like, and they're always going to alienate somebody out of the equation, and that's perfectly fine. Like, at the end of the day, I really don't care, but it would just be nice.
Yeah.
That's all.
I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not going to re-roll from a druid.
Well, yeah.
So, I'll level my evoker, maybe. You know what I mean?
I'll play it. I'll level it.
Maybe play it and level it a little bit, depending on what I have going on in Final Fantasy.
I have every other class, almost at 60. My monk's almost up there, and then I think I just basically have a demon hunter to go, and then I'll have every class at 60. Plus all my DKs at 60. There's the...
Your opportunity to level all your DKs is now.
I know, they got that 50%. Well, I still have all the Alliance ones I could do.
Is there a 50%?
Until Season 4 starts on August 2nd. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I thought it was still...
Nope.
The rest of
It's just until Season 4 starts. I guess...
Fun has a time limit.
Well, they're giving people the opportunity to get up and experience Season 4 with different characters if they want to, without it being as...
Yeah.
Well, why don't they let you buy gear then?
I know you're being an asshole.
No,
I know. I can see it on your fucking face.
Brian, you don't need to buy gear. You just need to come to raid.
Oh.
That feels bad.
Well, I think we'll go ahead and wrap it up. I've been, salty enough for everybody tonight. So
you have just brought us right down.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to be such a
You're
killjoy.
so negative, Jim.
I know.
So
It's
negative.
just like, there goes my shot at getting an alpha, or maybe I have to be negative to get into the alpha. I don't
That's
fucking
true.
know.
Yeah,
I'm trying a different
just complain
tactic.
that you're not in it and you're offended by it. Like, I think.
I just can't believe that's the title of the episode. Jim's not an alpha. What the fuck?
Absolutely bullshit. It's so bullshit.
Yeah. Anyway,
Don't they know you have 3 viewers on average?
Yeah. Come on
I don't think I
now.
even got that many.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks everybody for listening. You can check us out at facebook.com/server restart in. You can shoot a tweet at server_restart, and we'll catch you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.